Hi. Today we're going to be working on relieving chronic stress. So there's something called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. In the middle of the brain we have this hypothalamus, which regulates things like sleep and the bodily systems. And then of course the pituitary sort of tells all the glands how to make that happen, how to wake up, how to move the body. And then of course your adrenalines secrete adrenaline for a fast movement, or cortisol as we sort of go into just a hypervigilant state. Well, what happens is that the brain is constantly under this hypervigilant state, and it's always under stress. And so we ignore that we're always thinking or always on. And what happens is we start losing sleep, the digestive system, immune system, nothing starts to work right. So today we're going to do a practice to relieve some of that chronic stress. So some of this is going to be yoga nidra, if you know that, that's sleep. And some of this from last week's we did kundalini. So let's start out in a seated pose. I'm going to start just churning the body around. So come down to the floor with me here. I'm going to go around a bunch of times. But for now, just do a few times left and then a few times the other way. So already I'm feeling some of that churning going on. So we have overtaxed adrenal glands. Now what happens is the adrenal glands don't really just run out. They don't just run out. What happens is the vagus nerve, that's what runs between the two, starts to stop doing it because we're just doing it so much. Let's go forward and back. So we're going to charge our aura. Now aura is also sometimes called the 8th chakra. It's kind of around us. It's an energy field. So we're extending and flexing. It's an energy field that's created kind of by how we're feeling. You can think of it as our mood light, the color. Remember those old mood rings? So our 8th chakra is kind of what we radiate from the center. So then from here, let's try this. Let's try some cat-cow. They'll come around. And we're just going to do this sort of fast today. So we inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then from here, inhale, open, exhale, close. Kind of fast. And then the other way. So this is a heart opener. Again, what we're trying to do is open up this main channel so that we can relieve some of the nervous system's holding patterns. The problem is we're just always, our check engine light is just always on. And so if we come to a child's pose and we just hold this, we can stay here for like a full minute getting quiet. Now child's pose is really important for yoga nidra or any of the somatic yoga. That means to do with your body. We're bringing the body back into a balanced equilibrium so that all the hormones and the neurochemicals can all go back. When you come to child's pose, what we're doing, releasing any lumbar stress or strain, which we build up all day long. All of our stress, even sometimes in bed, we just continue to build up the stress and strain. It has to do with the adrenals and how that they are always on alert and always squeezing out and getting the muscles around there tense and tight. So child's pose is particularly good in relieving that stress and that tension that we build up there. We keep ignoring these signals. What happens is we get what we call burnout, where you just don't feel effective, you don't feel like doing anything, and your body system just stop working. And then of course that invites every disease, so we can't ignore this. So the brain always learns by contrast. We do fast movements, and then we do these slow, relaxed, quiet movements. All right, from here, let's try coming up. So maybe come through a downward dog with me. Everything we always do in downward dog, step forward. Forward folds also have that recharge. So all day long we're trying to push energy up. We've talked about that in forward folds, whether you're seated or standing. So you could do all of this seated in a chair. Whether you're seated or standing, you could forward fold, and it brings the energy back down, in this case to the crown of the head, or through the earth. So when you're in a meditative more state, so one of the things we can do to feel better, to recharge, so our adrenals aren't always burnt out, is to meditate, do self-massage, and this yoga nidra, and that'll help us sleep. So cortisol and melatonin have a seesaw relationship. All day long we typically have higher levels of cortisol, although it's falling. And then as typically evening comes, melatonin starts to rise and cortisol falls. And melatonin, of course, brings upon sleep. Let's come up and try our warrior. So I'm only going to do this 1 or 2 poses here. So we're going to call this archer pose. So we could start in our warrior legs. I'm going to reach one arm forward, and then as we pull this arm back, we're going to come down into our full warrior. So it's inhale up, pull. You can come full warrior 2. We're charging up this body's, aura, this bubble around us, and you can see the color, feel the color. So you know when you're in somebody's aura, and whether it's bright or whether it's dim, you know it immediately. You can feel it. It's an actual electromagnetic charged field. It actually is a real thing. And you may not be able to see it. I don't know about that. But it's something you can feel, and we can sort of feel moods. Okay, so that's our warrior 2 or archer pose. Now we did this last week, so a lot of you will know. We're going to balance on one leg, we're going to come to warrior 3. So you might just stay here and work on this, or you can do what we did last time, which was hinging. Remember, I'm going to go a little bit slower this week, but the idea is still the same. And we're going to build energy from the ground up. Remember, this is still Kundalini. We're just going to couple this today with somatic yoga, which just means to balance the body's endocrine as the hormonal system of the body. So we have this left and right hemispheres of the brain, and they're often disconnected. And sometimes the brain is actually disconnected from the body, and that's what this hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis dysregulation is. So there's a good, nice big word. Somebody said I wanted to hear all of those words. There's the big word. Hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis dysregulation. So there's a lot there. Let's come all the way down. So we're going to move into more of a relaxed somatic. So somatic yoga is for relaxing. So it goes right into yoga nidra. So let's take the hand to the side of the head, and I'm not only pulling a little bit with my hand, but I'm pushing my head up. So I'm pushing and pulling at the same time. So I'm not just yanking the head over. That's important. Then I'm going to take the same side hand, find that trapezius muscle there, and massage it. Now you can do this a long time. And if you tell me, we'll do this for 40 minutes. So do this as long as you want. This is really important to reduce stress. So we never force a stretch. You never pull. What you're always doing is releasing first, then stretching the muscle gently. So let's go to the other side. Tip to one side, use this hand. Remember, my head is pushing up as much as this hand is pushing down. Not super hard. Never force. And then use the same side hand. Find the trapezius. So you can make like circles with these fingers or kind of strum. Another thing we can do to reduce this adrenal fatigue syndrome thing is to connect with people. And so we have neurochemicals, oxytocin, serotonin, that feel good when we connect with people. Like you see a friend, you just smile, hi, how are you? You feel good about that interaction. That actually goes a long way in reducing stress. You may not think about it, but it really does. So let the head tip a little forward, tip a little backward. I'm just going to give, I'm almost done here. I'm going to move right into our Yoga Nidra now. So Yoga Nidra is all about, well, sleep. So let's do a little, you remember this alternate nostril breathing where you inhale, switch, and exhale. Inhale again, switch, and exhale. So you inhale, switch at the top, exhale down. Inhale up, switch at the top, exhale down. And then just let it go. So that aura around us is cleansed. And just what that means is the stuff, kind of like Velcro, we get stuck. Just so you go out in the day and you get sticky and dirty, and then you have to come in and wash. Same idea there. So I'm going to stay seated. You can stay seated in a chair. You can lay down on the floor. So we're just do some kind of yoga for rest. So lower the eyelids. So get comfortable. I'm going to do 3 or 4 slow breaths. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So keep breathing. So now relax any tension you find anywhere in your body. And you let the breath help you, or just let the breath be natural. Steady your breath, quiet your mind. From darkness to light, from unconsciousness to consciousness. I am healing. From fear to love. So now a deep breath in, a long steady breath out. Stay here as long as you want. This is just a little snippet of how we heal. So remember, it's the difference between the contrast, the high energy down to very low energy. And it really mimics our day. So stay here as long as you want. Or come back and join me here. So coming up to a seated pose, bringing the hands together, bowing the chin to the chest. Not ignoring the body's systems and the little indicator lights that tell us, I need self-care. Self-care means, what is my body telling me? And am I giving it that? Think of how we take care of our things. We'll make sure all the things are working in our world. Our bodies are the same. They need time. So coming up, open your eyes. Inhale up. And exhale. And I'll meet you back at the heart center. Namaste.